Yep, let's address the elephant in the room, shall we? Yes, I have bangs now. They are horrible bangs, but bangs nonetheless. Listen, did I know that I'm going to regret it later? Yes. Did it stop me from doing it? No. So, few days back, I was just so tired of feeling like some expired product in my house. So I thought that it's time. We need to change our life. Okay, I need to get out and have some friends, meet people. Then I just completely changed my mind about that. Like, okay, that's too much. So I thought, like, okay, I would go out, but I would go out as in like, I would go out to gym to work out, healthy body, healthy mind. It will help me being more productive. So I did. Second day, 5 minutes after stepping into the gym, I wasn't even working out. I tripped. I literally tripped and tear my ligaments. Even thinking about me when the doctor told me about this, it just brings back the pain that I felt. I swear to God, I've never felt this pain in my entire life when I tripped and my foot was just like. I was standing there for 5 full minutes and I counted it, yes, because those were like the horrible 5 minutes of my life. The pain was so much. I knew for sure that I teared something inside of me. Literally, entire situation is just so funny. I'm telling you. And
I'm in so much pain right now.
that's not the most bizarre part. Is the bizarre part is that why did my mother think that this is a smiley face? It's haunting me. It's creepy. By the way, I am sleeping here right now. See my makeshift bed. The reason is that my entire family sleeps in my room. Okay, because we do have air conditioning in other rooms as well, but we are not allowed to use them. It's only for show, okay, or for the guests. The rule in this house is that you are only allowed to use one air conditioning at a time. This is all is just for show. In reality, my family is cheap. Electricity bill is very expensive. So what I was saying is that at that day I was like wasn't feeling very good and wasn't in the mood to do anything. So I read a book. Okay, it called The Butcher and the Blackbird. Blackbird and the Butcher. I don't know. I think. Okay, and listen. Are certain books where you would look for logic and that you would like, okay, it totally makes sense, like that's why you like it because it makes sense. And there are certain books which just doesn't make any sense. They're asking you to just leave your brain cells outside, come, entertain yourself and move on with your life. And that's exactly what this book was. Entertained I was. Last year I found this rabbit hole of romance books, okay, and I just fell in love with it. Okay, read a hell lot of romance books this entire year. Okay, and every time I was like, okay, this is it. But no, there is subgenres. There are so many subgenres, and currently I'm into dark romance books because why not? And listen, before somebody said that romance books are not real books, you should read something in here. Fuck off. Nobody's judging you. Don't judge us. A person is allowed to do anything they want, like to entertain themselves. They can do whatever they want, they can do whatever they want except committing a crime. Don't do that. I used to read books before as well, but mostly I would read like classics or, oh no, I have read romance books. I read Nicholas Sparks romance books. I'm telling you, listen, I read it when I was 17. Okay, so I like the Notebook, the book, but not the movie. I'm sorry to the people who like the movie. I didn't like it at all. I like the book, but no. On the other hand, A Walk to Remember, I like the book as well, and I like the movie as well. And listen, that book, whenever in there is a sad ending in a box, and after like in an epilogue or something, they would give us like a time span or like 10 years, 20 years. And in Walk to Remember, it was a time span of 40 years, and he was reflecting back to the life he had with Jamie, yeah. It just broke my heart. Okay, whenever I see the time span, like 20 years, 10 years, that year they mentioned, it just broke my. Okay, it was so beautiful. I just love sad endings. I'm telling you, not because I'm crazy, maybe, but I love sad endings, especially in love stories where one person dies and the other person lives in their memories and all that. Miserable, terrible, pathetic. I love it. Listen, the thing is, the reason I like sad endings is because, like, sometimes it gives you a lot of space to think that how short our life is, you know? Like, sometimes we are just so focused on the future that we have time, you know? We'll get time, we have our entire lives in front of us, we would do it. And in order to just thinking about the future, we just sometimes forget to appreciate what is right in front of us right now, or appreciate the moments and the person who is in front of us right now. So I like this that space to think about it. Oh my god, that was so deep. It's also like where, you know, these there are sad endings in the movie of a couple who cannot get together, but the other person, they move on with their life. You know, they found love again and have a family again. It doesn't mean that they forget the person who was before, like the person they loved and is not with them anymore. It's just that their void cannot be filled by anyone else. Their place in their heart would not be filled by anyone else. But it's like it's life, okay? That person is not here anymore. That person would have wanted the other person to, you know, move on, have a happy life and all that. So I think it's more practical, and I like that when books shows that this is the reality of life. Like people move on, life goes on. It doesn't, just because a person is moving on doesn't mean that they forget the other person, okay? They cherish their memories and have them in their hearts, but yeah, it's life, it move on. So I really like the reality when sometimes it shows in the books. I was into classics a lot, and my favorite book is The Great Expectations. Listen, I know it's like very basic, but the thing is that I've read that book when I was, I think, 13 or 14, I guess. That was my first book other than like the books we have in our school. That was the first book I've read, and I just fell in love with the reading, you know, so much. And it's, I think, more than the story and the book, it's about nostalgia. Whenever I read it, I just went back to that summer of when I was 13 and I was reading it. That book actually was in my brother's syllabus, and I read it in the summer, which was like very, like, it gives me so much nostalgic feeling. So that's why I like that book. The feeling behind that book is more important to me than what the actual book is. Not that I don't care about the actual book, I do, but that I've read was like A Thousand Splendid Suns. God, that book broke my heart, fixed it just to break it again. Remember, I was reading this book when I was in a train journey. It's so hard not to cry. Well, I hate crying in front of someone else, and second of all, it's like people would think that I'm crazy. So last year I was scrolling through Pinterest and I come across with this, how those videos where people with glasses with like of aesthetic come up with this kind of like a video of the love hypothesis, and I was like, okay, I want to read this book. And I read it and I personally really liked it. Okay, I like both of these characters. I like the academia part of it. I like but yeah, I do agree with a lot of people who have this complaint. I also felt it at that time. It's just that I like overall book, I like both of these characters like separately, but I somewhere couldn't find the chemistry between them. I mean, they were good friends, companions as well. It's just like the spark was somewhere missing. Yeah, I did have like this problem that I couldn't find a lot of spark between them. So other than that, I really like the book. But the more I read the books, the more I realized that how stereotypical the characters are. Like that every character is like straight white people. Second of all, why is it that every time a male should be like 6 foot or something and the female is like between 5 foot or 5'5"? like he's always towering over her. No, like, listen, I'm not judging everyone types. It depends on you totally, okay? I am not into like someone who's like 6 foot, or like who is like I have to see them like this. No, that I've read was Spanish Love Deception, and God, I really didn't like that book at all. I don't know. They weren't in the Spain for half of the book, so why does it call Spanish Love Deception? I don't know. But but I did have this thing that, listen, both the characters of Adam and Aaron, like if I have to manifest the type of partner I would want in my life, I did want someone like them. Like the love they have for the other characters, maybe it's cheesy, but yeah, if I have to manifest, I would totally manifest them as not the physical aspects of them, but the like the way they are with the other female characters. Also, I really like Ali Hazelwood's book because like I read the Love Hypothesis, but I like the way she writes those academia part of it, even though I didn't understand a single thing of it. I'm not a science student, okay? But I didn't like how every character of hers are the same. Like every male character is like Adam, and every female character is Olive. I like how she writes the other like the stories and the academia part, but I didn't like how she writes the same characters over and over again with just different names. Then that I read a lot of books, and then I found the rabbit hole of the dark romance books, and trust me, I love it. But I do have a problem with that as well. The problem with me is that, listen, I am totally up with the dark theme. Okay, I like the characters. If they are dark, the theme is dark around. I like the edgy part of it, but I didn't like those books where the book gave, like, the male gives that alpha male type of an energy, and the woman is just like, for example, Haunting Adeline. Listen, I like that book, like the premise of that book. Okay, like how the book starts up, the dark theme around it and everything around it, the theme they use, the male character's aid as what he was doing, like his professional life. I really like it what he does. Adeline, on the other hand, she was a famous book, but that was only mentioned for like once or twice. But then people completely forget about it that she is a famous author. Don't like the dynamics of their relationship. I didn't like how Zayd treats Adeline at all. I didn't like that type of relationship when they show in the dark romance books. Okay, I hate the dynamics. Or you be dark, okay? That character should be dark. No, I don't have any problem with it, but don't be an asshole to the female character. I don't like that energy. So other than that, I like the dark romance books or the dark theme. I love dark academia books as well. Okay, I like the edgy books, but like again, I said, like the characters should like when the dynamics between the characters or the relationship between them is just that, again, that alpha male and naive girl. Like I hate those books. I don't know what this about me is that whenever I read some like famous book that everybody likes, I don't necessarily like them. But the books which has like the low rating, the people were like, okay, what is this? Like people didn't like it. I end up liking them. And same goes for movie and TV shows as well. Whenever the some TV shows or movies have the low rating, I just end up liking them. And I don't necessarily like the hyped thing. So I don't know. Is it me? The book I was talking about was The Butcher and the Blackbird and the Butcher. I don't know. Okay. So this book is also dark, okay? It's edgy, it's dark, but I just love the characters, okay? Story of two serial killers, but they are serial killers of serial killers, the people who have done bad things. And meet cute was that Sloan, the female lead character, she just end up locking herself into a cage with the men she killed, and she's been locked for like past 3 days. And then Rowan comes. I hope I'm pronouncing the name right. Listen, I mispronounce a lot of names and sentences, and I know I made a lot of grammatical mistakes while speaking. But the reason why I speak in English is that I want to improve myself. I know a lot. I made a lot of mistakes. I am very proud of. who I am or where I come from. I'm very proud that I am Indian, and like, I talk to my family and my friends in Hindi. But it's like, even though I am so proud of like my mother tongue and all, but we have to agree that English have is like a necessity. So, and I know I have to improve a lot. I'm learning, I'm still learning, and we like, no matter what your age is, you constantly evolve and grow. So I do talk to myself a lot in English, but in my mind, and in my mind I speak like Shashi Tharoor worthy of English, but in reality I'm just like, so I thought that if I would speak to the camera in English, I would like just get improved. So I'm so sorry I mispronounced names and made grammatical mistakes. I hope it is okay, and I hope I keep improving myself. Rowan here, he came and he was also looking for the same man, which Sloan just killed, and they meet each other. He introduced himself that, oh, I'm the butcher. Serial killers have their like a nickname or something, so he said that I'm the butcher. And she introduced herself that she's the ops weaver. That's her name is, I guess I'm saying it right. And the moment she said it, Ron is like, you are the ops weaver, I am a huge fan, you are my ideal. So it's like, I really like men who appreciate women's efforts, okay, no matter the field is. But anyways, so I like really like the dynamics of their relationship, how they both carried on their relationship. It's very cute. Slow, and she is like keep being like the idol of Rowan, and being like the famous serial killer of serial killers, that she's very shy, she's introvert, she doesn't have a lot of friends, and she keep it to herself. But thing that I didn't like the book is that they didn't show a lot about Sloane's life. They mentioned once like why she's doing what she's doing right now, but other than that there wasn't a lot of things that are told about Sloane's past. It was only mentioned like once, I guess. And I don't even know what she does for a living right now. Like, I know she was into arts school or something, but she left because something bad happened. But other than that, I just didn't understand what she does now. But then that, for Rowan's character, they have the books shows us a lot about his life. He is actually a chef and he owns a restaurant, and that's his day job. Okay, it's like serial killing is not his full-time job. Okay, it's like its night job is serial killing, but in real life or the day job is his that he's a great chef. Okay, he's a very famous chef. A lot of things I really like this book. This is funny as well. I really like this book, and also I think that sometimes the book depends on like the way, on the mood you are or the circumstances you are reading it. Also, I other than other thing that I like about reading the book is like sometimes when I could relate to the characters, because where I am right now in life, and I somehow could relate to that character like emotionally, or where she is right now. I also like that book because of how I could relate to certain characters. Want to just read this book. It's very, very nice. It's funny, it's edgy, and it doesn't have that alpha male or like that kind of an energy. I really like Rowan. He is obsessed with Sloan, but not in like possessive or like with alpha male type of a way. He just really loves her. Really. Why I started reading books was that, listen, I said a lot of times, I guess, at this point, that I don't go out. I don't have a social life as well. And the thing is, if you are preparing for some competitive examinations, things can be pretty lonely when you are preparing by yourself without going out with in your house and as well. So books are like my escape from reality. And I've read a quote somewhere. It says that a reader lives 1,000 lives before they die, and I really like that quote, and I totally understand that. So yeah, so the reason why I started reading books is because currently my life sucks. So when I read these books, I feel, and I know for sure that there will be happy endings. So it gives me kind of like a hope or something that, yeah, I think I will be okay too. So